you're now opening up to new parameters in your life, opening up to new avenues in your life where that is concerned, opening up to the greatness and wonderfulness of self where that is concerned, as you're moving into a more groundedness of self where that is concerned, as you move along this pathway, in this moment of time where you're now moving in through a period of releasing, a period of death and dying where that is concerned, as you move through now your month of November, dear ones, as you exited and have exited your month of October where that is concerned, where you began the process of releasing and moving into this period of death and dying and moving into the last 2 months of your year of 2021, moving into the year of 2022, which will move into a fruition of a new self where that is concerned, if in fact you choose to move to that fruition of the new self where that is concerned. So as you move into your month of November, then into your month of December, and move towards the end of the year of 2021 where that is concerned, you'll be closing many doors. Many will be closing many doors in your life to the old where that is concerned, the old habits, patterns, rituals, and behaviors where that is concerned, and begin to realize that it is old. You see, what is most important, dear ones, to understand is that many do not realize that their patterns, habits, rituals, and behaviors are from the past, dear ones. They are from the past. It is about devising a new way in your vernacular, a new way of understanding that, seeing that, reconciling that, and then opening up to a new way of living as the adult in the present time of your now where that is concerned, on your earthly plane where that is concerned. So it is now about moving and taking a deeper dive within, if you will, of the self where that is concerned, and really seeing, if you so choose, what is important for you to release, the old habits, patterns, rituals, and behaviors where you might be mired in those behaviors where that is concerned, and quite possibly using those behaviors as an excuse in your life for moving forward and having the life you say you want. We have mentioned to you many, many times, dear ones, about the life you say you want and the life you're living now. So this time, these last 3 months of your year of 2021, now moving into your month of November, the midpoint of this process, of this specific process of release, death, and dying. It is most important now, dear ones, if you choose to have the life you say you want, moving into the full consciousness of self where that is concerned, it is now about diving deeper within the depth and breadth of you to illuminate the old habits, patterns, rituals, and behaviors that hold you in a place from not having the life you say you want. It is now about taking full responsibility. It is now about fully reparenting that wounded child. Quite possibly it is now time to allow yourself to have that life, but come to the reconciliation that quite possibly you are utilizing these old habits, patterns, rituals, and behaviors as an excuse to hold you in a place where you are comfortable and feel safe within it, though you may not like it. You see, dear ones, we have said to you many, many times before that many of you have a life you say you want. You have what you say you want, what you would like to manifest. And quite possibly looking back on that, how many times have you said, this is the life I say I want. This is the life that I want. This is what I would like to manifest. And you haven't had that manifested, or you are still living in the life, yearning after the life you say you want. As you move into your month of November, it is now time to take a deeper dive within to fully look at your behaviors, look at your habits, and look at your rituals where that is concerned. And see if you have been in a deep-rooted blind spot to holding on to those patterns, those habits, those rituals, and behaviors because you feel safe within it. What is transpiring now in your last 3 months, now your last 2 months of the year of 2021, you have now dear ones, this is a time to begin to break free of the old. It is why we ask you time and time again to look at the third dimensional realm around you. Look what is transpiring in the third dimensional realm around you. Look at what is old. Look at the illusions of life. Look at the illusions of the third dimensional realm that hold you in that place into the depth and breadth of fear of the wounded child. We have said many times before, dear ones, that what is transpiring in the world outside of you is preying upon, dear ones, the wounds of that child. It's preying upon, instilling fear within you, dear ones, that the wounded child mires in and stays in, looking for mom and dad to pull them out of it. Thus, that wounded child, dear one, only knows death or life, life or death. So what you're seeing transpiring in the world around you, dear ones, as we have once again said many times before, is the perpetration of life or death. If you do this, you will live. If you don't do this, you will die. And that is what is being perpetrated within the illusion of the third dimensional realm, dear ones. That is what always has been being perpetrated in the world around you in the third dimensional realm. Is why, dear ones, it is so important, if you so choose, to dive deeper within, to see if that resonates for you, to see if that is affecting you, to see if what is transpiring in the world outside of you is directly affecting the life that you live. Or are you an autonomous, individuated adult moving to a higher level of consciousness that leaves the perception of the world outside of themselves, that sees it through the eyes of the adult and the eyes of the conscious, individuated adult that you are, that makes your own choices and takes responsibility for yourself in this world, moving to a greater depth of loving, honoring, and valuing you? Are you subservient, dear ones, to what is transpiring in the world around you? Do you look at what is transpiring in the world around you, and are you subservient to that? Are you taking the orders from those around you, dear ones, that says, if you do this, you will live. If you do this, you will die. Thus instilling the fear within you that is perpetrated on the wounded child. The target, dear ones, is the wounds of the child. This is why, dear one, we have come to you over and over again with these messages, lessons, and teachings to move within, to begin to heal the wounds of the child, begin to reparent the wounds of the child, so you can move as the individuated adult, leaving mom and dad behind, dear ones. Leaving the blame and shame of mom and dad behind, dear ones. You are here now, dear one, moving into your month of November in your year of 2021. Dear ones, this is where you are. You are no longer that wounded child, dear one. You are no longer that wounded child, dear ones. Yet embrace that child, dear ones, because that child is a part of you. But what is leading your life is the past and the history of that wounded child. It is why now, as you move into your month of November, dear ones, we ask you to move deeper within the depth and breadth of your heart space and begin to see this. Raise your awareness and consciousness, dear ones, to the individuated adult who you are in this time-space continuum in your month of November in the year of 2021. For this is the moment of now, dear ones. This is where you are, dear ones. We are not saying, dear ones, to negate what is transpiring with the wounded child. No, dear ones. That is a part of you, dear ones. But it's time to differentiate between you where you are now as the adult and the wounded child, dear one. And begin, dear ones, to embrace that wounded child. But begin, dear ones, creating new behaviors that allow you to stay present in the moment of now and move forward through your month of November, into your month of December, and then gallantly into your year of 2021 as the individuated adult you are, to have the life you say you want. To have everything that you have always said you wanted, dear one. It is about now, dear one, creating new behaviors for yourself that will simply, when that wounded child is turning around, looking at the past, looking at mom and dad, you now can take a hold of that wounded child and face him forward and towards the life you say you want. That is the history, dear ones. Are you mired in your history? Or are you now ready to gallantly move forward into the end of your year of 2021? Release what you need to release. Release what you need to release of the old habits, patterns, rituals, and behaviors. Release what you need to release in the present of now, in the third dimensional realm, the illusion of the third dimensional realm, the attachments that we've said many, many, many times before to the third dimensional realm outside of yourself. Releasing old relationships that no longer transpire within the realm of your consciousness, your new consciousness, your awareness consciousness, the consciousness of a high level vibration, dear ones. As we have said all along, dear ones, it is about creating a new collective consciousness. Is that consciousness for you, dear ones, going to be of a higher vibration, where you are unattached to the third dimensional realm outside of you? More so, dear one, you are unattached to anything or anyone in your life right now. You are unattached to anything or anyone in your life right now. It's about standing, dear ones, in the solitude and greatness and powerfulness of who you are. Look into the mirror, dear ones. See who you are. See what you have become in your life. See who you have become in your life right now. Open your eyes, dear ones. Open your eyes to the gloriousness of the self. Open your eyes to the gloriousness of life, dear ones. For it is not all doom and gloom. It may appear through the illusion of what is transpiring in the third dimensional realm, if you attach yourself to that it is doom and gloom, that everything is doom and gloom. But it isn't, dear ones. And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be for you, dear ones. For it is simply, dear ones, creating a new collective consciousness with those who vision this for themselves as well. Who raises your resonance and vibration, dear ones? What raises your resonance and vibration, dear ones? It is now time, dear ones, as you move into your month of November and then into your month of December, to continue the process of releasing, and through that process, moving through the death and the dying of the old. For that is what is transpiring in the world in the third dimensional realm outside of yourself. If in fact, dear one, what is transpiring in the third dimensional realm outside of yourself intrigues you, look at where, dear ones, there are many perpetrating the illusions of the third dimensional realm, holding on tightly and dearly to the old world of form and perpetrating all of that, dear ones. Look at the illusion, dear ones. Look at the folly and look at the calamity of it. For, dear ones, you are the individuated adult, can now create new behaviors that will allow you to simply, when that wounded child is continually mired and looking in the past, you can now take that wounded child lovingly, turn them around, holding your wounded child hand in hand and moving forward to the life you say you want.